Okay, so we're going to try doing something together in Google Analytics. Now, I've got to say, this is not going to be polished. You can probably already tell that by the light behind my head, but I get very intimidated by Google Analytics. And another problem with it is that there's a lot of, Google puts a lot of instructions about it, but they seem to update how to do it frequently, but then they don't update the instructions. And the user interface is kind of clean, but there's so much to do. And anyway, whatever, it's tough. So I'm in the Google Analytics for Friday Goodie Bag right now. And if I look at the reports, I want to see traffic acquisition. And boy, we've got like direct traffic, referral traffic, all that kind of stuff. We've got a nice spike on January 15th. But here, one of the problems is that I also go to the website a lot too, especially when I'm working on it, because I'm like looking to see if, you know how it goes. So anyway, if every time I click onto the website, it logs a visit, and then I go in and go, wow, Thursday the 15th, there's a ton of people here. There's like 7 direct visitors. Well, direct visitors are like, no one's going to go in and type in FridayGoodieBag.com except maybe my mom. But this is probably me. And if I'm trying to report to my boss about like how many people are on my website, there were 7 people on. No, there weren't 7 people. It was probably me logging in 7 times in incognito mode so I could look at it. So hiding internal traffic or excluding internal traffic, that's the way you solve it. The problem is that if you think you filtered it out, you may not have, because it's a 2-step process. So we're going to walk through that together. So in order to do that, you've got to click the admin screen, which is a gear down at the bottom left. I'm going to go here. And under this box called Data Collection and Modification, I'm going to set it up using Data Streams. Hello, Data Streams. And I'm going to click into that. And we're going to define internal traffic. That's down here under Configure Tag Settings. And then it's down here under Show More, helpfully. And we say Define Internal Traffic. And I have no rules yet, which means right now any traffic from me is just showing up along with all the other traffic. So I'm going to click Create. And now the rule name, I'm going to say Hide Naomi Visits. And the traffic type value is internal. And I'm going to leave that the way it is, because if I change it to anything else, I'm going to get confused. So now, here's where kind of the magic is. Every computer has its own IP address. Sometimes those will change if you have kind of a fancy setup, but if you're just a regular individual and you've got like a home computer, it's probably just one IP address. You can find out what it is by going to just Google what's my IP address, and it'll pop up with a website that you can get it from. So I've already done that. I've got it copied. So I'm going to say IP address equals, and I'm going to type my value in there. And instead of clicking Add Condition, I have to go up to this top right corner and click Create. And now that is here. So I think, great, I'm done. I've defined internal traffic. I'm good. No, here's where this is the gotcha. Now you actually have to go and apply that filter, which is in a totally different section, helpfully. So I'm going to get out of this web stream, and I'm going to go to Data Filters, and see I have no filters in here yet. So now I'm going to create the filter. Let's see, developer traffic or internal traffic. So I guess here my understanding of this, I could be wrong, is that let's say you have a big company and you've got a lot of employees hitting your website. You're obviously going to define those as internal traffic. Let's say you've got a web development company somewhere else and you want to identify their visits separately. Thinking about it, that's actually kind of a nice thing, because if they say, oh yeah, we've been working busily on your website, and you look and you don't see any traffic from them, maybe they haven't been. Not that anyone would do that, but anyways, whatever. So I'm going to click internal traffic because that's the kind I want to track. I'm also the developer, but I'm just going to keep it simple. So I'm going to name my filter Hide Naomi Visits, and we could exclude or include. We definitely, if you click include only, you're only going to track your internal visits, which is kind of the opposite of what you want to do. And then the traffic type, the value here is internal, which is, remember before I said it says internal, I'm not going to change that. I'm just going to leave it here, because if I get fancy and name it something like Rover, but then, the other thing was named something else, it's not going to work. So if you're like a prudent person, you'd test it. I'm not going to test. I pretty much know what I'm doing here. So I'm going to click active, and that's where we're activating it. So I'm going to hit create. Activate filter without testing. Yes, activate filter. Now it says the filter is active. If you haven't done so already, see, this is what we did in the previous step, append this parameter value to traffic, blah, blah, blah. So we've done both steps. So now the filter I have is active. Now it's not going to apply to, let me show you again. It's not going to retroactively go back, because once it's captured these visits, it's not going to go back and hide my IP address. But going forward, if I visit the website, it's not going to show up. And there are ways of testing it, but I've already been talking for a few minutes. The main takeaway here is, if you're trying to filter out internal traffic in Google, it's a 2-step process. And if you skip one of the steps, your filter is not going to work. Thank you for watching. And if it's Friday, happy Friday. And if it's any other day, have a great day. Bye.